Actually, I was having conversations with the people, trying to have conversations with the people about we the people, because united we will always stand, but divided we will always fail. Okay, and Donald Trump, I think a lot of the people out here are going to see, is going to probably become one of the most influential unifiers in this country. In this country that people have seen in a long, long time. They don't believe it now, but they may believe it. They'll see it later.
So the GOP seems to be kind of all in chaos. So you should. That
which is exactly what makes me question why. Okay, you tell me why Mitt Romney has come out against Donald Trump. You tell me why George W., the two Bushes, the Bush family has come out against him.
You're speaking rhetorically, but I want to hear your answers.
And then you tell me why even the freaking Pope. Okay, so there's obviously something going on behind the scenes. Okay, the establishment, the Washington establishment, someone is coming to mess with their little card game.
So
someone is coming to take away their piggy bank. Someone is coming to expose their corruption.
All right, so question.
Okay.
If for some strange reason there's a scandal and Trump just dropped out tomorrow, would you get behind an outsider like Bernie Sanders?
Oh, I would have to definitely think about that. If Donald Trump, if any candidate said that they were going to do something, in fact, if Donald Trump gets into office and then doesn't build the wall, I would be very upset about that. I would try to get him out of the office. Yeah.
Really? So you really think he can build it?
Oh, well, I think that he can build a wall. I think not only one wall or fence, or Hillary Clinton wants to call it a fence. Build a fence. A comprehensive immigration policy is required if you want to have a country. If you want to be a sovereign nation, you must have a comprehensive immigration policy. You cannot have illegal people. Okay? You cannot have people who can just come freely across the border.
No, I hear you. But so what do you say to those who ask, well, does legality equate to morality?
No, you can't say that. You got to have law. I mean, we are a society of laws. We have laws.
Well,
so
right, but you can make anything a law.
Well, then the people have to vote the representatives into office who will get rid of the laws that they don't want if they're immoral laws. Okay. They have to vote for the.
So what would you say is?
That's what our democracy is all about. We have three different parts, and
So is it moral to break up families that have a quote unquote anchor baby, or?
See, you want to jump to the next, or not you, but some people want to jump to the next step. What if you always jump there, then you'll never address the problem. You'll never be able to begin to address the situation.
Well, doesn't it start with morality? Isn't that why we make laws?
It starts with abiding by the law.
Moralities don't.
No. What I'm saying is, in this election,
why is this election different?
Well, finally, Donald Trump came out, and he was one of the only person who started the conversation about comprehensive immigration.
Right,
he started the conversation.
Would you agree that laws are based in morality?
Of course, there has to be morality. There has to be, religion. There has to be all kinds of things.
So
but you're not going to get me to say that we're not going to have a comprehensive immigration policy. You're not going to be moral over that. No, we need to build a wall. We need to build the wall. We need to let's just stop saying build a law. Let's say this. We need to stop illegal immigrants from being. We need to be able to control the illegal immigrants from coming into the country. Okay. Let me give you an example. Can I give you an example? Because you want to do it. I lived in China for 12 years. I go to China. I get a 6-month or a 1-year visa. Okay. They check me into China. When my visa's up, they check me out of China. If I don't check out, they come and look for me. They do two things. One, they'll either arrest me and put me in jail, or two, they will kick me out of the country and I cannot come back. They have a law. China has a law. Different countries have a law. Even Mexico has a wall with Guatemala. The Pope has a wall around the Vatican. Okay, and why did the Pope come out and talk about the wall? I mean, this is ridiculous. So obviously there's something more behind the scenes.
Okay, so I wasn't trying to get you to. I'm just talking.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get you to say anything.
Yeah.
But going back to let's get off the wall.
Yeah.
So just the whole thing with the families, breaking up families. Is it moral to break them up?
I don't believe that that's what we're going. That is the first point to address.
Okay.
Okay, I don't believe that that's the first point to address. I think we can address the other part first, and that maybe then we won't have to break up the families. Okay,
You're contradicting yourself.
Let me give you an example.
Because you just said that laws are based in morality.
Let me give you an example. The failed U.S. Postal Service, which is run by the government, okay, it's failing. Is it not failing? It loses billions and millions of dollars. Okay, we could use that. Donald Trump might come up. I'm just hypothesizing. Might come up with an idea to use that business to have illegal immigrants go there within a certain period of time, get a retina scan, get fingerprinted, sign a document that says you know, that you will become a citizen. It's after the last person who started legally, the process legally. I have had so many legal immigrants who came to this country stop and say, I'm voting for Donald Trump because of the fact that they say so many illegal immigrants coming into the country stresses our education system, stresses the medical and the system, that it can't bear it anymore. It can't bear it. So we've got to change the system. Both the Democrats and the Republicans in Washington, D.C. either have not wanted to change it or don't know how to change it. So we're going to bring in somebody who's a manager, who's going to bring in some of the. He's going to hire some of the brightest minds in the country to help figure these problems out.
So you're obviously an intelligent and articulate guy, but you see the contradiction.
There's a lot of intelligent, articulate people on the other side, but there's also a lot of people yelling. And in fact, if I saw people doing what they were doing here, I would go over and absolutely talk to them and say, united. Yeah, but I'm just saying, if I saw us doing that, if we did that, I would have to talk to people because.
Dangerous ones, we're the ones.
Yeah. I mean, if you talk about intolerance and hate, somebody said they were coming here for hate mongering. They want to stop hate mongering. I drove by and somebody called me, and because I had a Trump sign in my window, they called me a Nazi. Now, I mean, I have lots of hair. Nazis usually, you know, the neo-Nazis normally have, like, you know, no bald heads and stuff like that.
So
I've got to sit down because.
Okay. How would you define hate then? I mean, if you're talking about hate mongering and all that, and.
Well, I think people mischaracterize. You know, you have to look back at the history of politics. In fact, they've made it very clear that people used to say some really, really bad things to each other in politics back and forth. And, you know, you can't use the woman card. You can't, you know, the black card and the woman card has been used so much. It's in America, the 100 million people that normally do not vote, in the middle, the 100 million people who do not vote, finally have a voice. And they're going to stand up and they're going to say, you know what, this politically correct stuff, calling people undocumented workers, we're going to stop that. We're going to call them illegal aliens, because that's exactly what they are, okay? If it's a person who's been here, you know, had a baby, then you got to call them an anchor baby. That's what it is. I mean, and there's no hate there. It's just that's what it is. Okay, you can't have a bank robber rob a bank and then 20 years later come and say, oh, I robbed the bank 20 years ago, can I keep the money? No, you broke the law 20 years ago, you're still in violation of the law. Give us back the money. So that's exactly, you know, you can look at it that way.
Great, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. Can I get your name?
Lee Eric Newton. I'll give you a card. You can find me online. I'm for one man, one sign, one vote.